Holla ballers and a bro fist to you all. Guess what's returning on Monday? The bro fists. Oh yeah, I figured out a way to do it so it doesn't look incredibly retarded. Something I was working on this morning. I wanted those bad boys back because you guys keep sending me bro fists and it's just they're not getting shown, and I want to show them because you guys are awesome and I want you guys to appear up here on the screen. It's an interesting day. Panic! Panic! Oh my god, I have to raid! Oh no! Everything I've been wishing for since Dragon Soul was released is about to happen and I'm completely unprepared. Oh my god, somebody save me. Oh, so many emails from people just absolute panic-stricken. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Oh no! It's happening! It's happening! What about my raid spot? What's gonna happen? All the plans I made for Mr. Pandaria are all falling apart around me. I don't have Exalted with every reputation. I haven't managed to craft that epic piece of gear. The guild will look upon me with shame like I was a nostril hair in the soup. What is this? What is this? What's going on? That's what's going to be happening, and it is happening today. It's pretty cool. A lot of people no-lifed for the last few days to try and be as prepared as possible. And of course, you just can't do it. There's something that's always missing. And everyone's like, do you think they will judge me unfairly because of this? Do you think I will be literally the scum of the universe because I'm not 100% gear capped? No! No! There are millions of people who aren't gear capped. And already controversy. You US players. Blood Legion. Vodka. Exodus. You know who you are. Already controversy going into the hard mode race. The EU guys are pissed. Very pissed. First of all, Mr. Ghost was hacked yesterday. And Ghosty was a little bit miffed, to say the least, but everything is fine and dandy. Blizzard responded as I told him they would, really. But it's always the worry that they won't, but they did. He got everything back within a couple of hours of being able to log back into his account. Thumbs up, Mr. Ghost. Blizzard are exceptionally good, almost scarily good at returning your stuff after you get hacked. But still, thumbs up to Blizzard for solving it so quickly. I'm glad to see Ghosty is back in the game and he's got all these transmog gear he's been working so hard for. On the subject of transmogs, you guys are still sending me transmogs. That's okay. We'll probably do another video review of your transmogs. I'm especially looking forward to your Mr. Pandaria transmogs because there's all that sort of Asian theme going on. You guys have come up with some pretty funky stuff already. And the fact that you now know the kind of stuff that we enjoy, which isn't tier sets. We like something with a bit of flavour, a bit of love, a bit of eye candy, and you guys have still been sending those in. So I'm just going to say it now. Periodically, maybe once a month, we will do a whole big transmog thing. As soon as possible, we will attach prizes and gifts to what we think is the monthly winner, and you will get something because you guys love your transmogs. One of the most popular things we did was the transmog stuff. Awesome. Keep sending them in. preachgaming@gmail.com. Get them sent in. Get a good time going on. It's going to be cool. So, what should we talk about today in World of Warcraft? What did I do today? I was supposed to do all the rogue videos. I'm actually going to do them this evening. We continued our adventure in order to complete the heroic Mater achievement. Missing 2 now. Missing 2 little lonely ones. One that is particularly buggy, which is the Scarlet Hall's Blade Master blah 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 blah. Herod. As I know him, Herod. Blades of Light! Herod, that one is really buggy. We killed like 14 of those fucking things and it just still didn't get the achievement. And the very, very hard one, which is Cleaning Up, is the name of the achievement, which is in Temple of the Jade Serpent. Kill 2 bosses in 5 minutes from the end of the second boss. Wise Mari. Wise Mari, the water guy. That boss that when you do it for the first time, you think, is this really a boss? This boss fucking sucks, right? That boss does fucking suck, but you have to kill the last boss within 5 minutes of defeating him, which is pretty cool. We did everything else today, which was pretty sweet. Nothing particularly interesting or fun today, actually. I suppose the most fun one was pushing the button in Mogashun Palace, I want to say, against Arms Master Zen. I'm guessing at names. You can tell my RP skills are not the best. But pressing the buttons and all sorts of lasers and flickery lights go off and all that kind of shit. That was pretty cool. Pretty cool. That was alright. So the rest of them were boring. Collect fucking 5 green things. So boring. Why is that even an achievement? Especially if you don't get a really cool green bunny to play with for your battle pets. We like battle pets. Let's talk about raiding. Why is there controversy already? Well, it hasn't been widely reported, but I am here as the cutting-edge World of Warcraft news reporter to tell you the news. Is that the maintenance of the US servers finished and the servers came back up before the dungeon reset timer kicked in. Ooh, that allowed the very prospective US guilds, Blood Legion, Vodka, and Exodus that I know of, to enter the raids and get some bosses killed before the dungeon reset. So they essentially have a few bosses head start on gear. Nobody in the hardcore guilds cares about normal mode. They don't give a shit. Normal mode for them is for testing out what the hard mode can be tweaked and polished and fixed up, any changes that occurred from beta, all that kind of stuff. Just tweaking and testing and tweaking and testing. But gear is important. The reason they don't rush normal mode is because, well, quite frankly, we can take our time and we're still going to get the gear. Of course we're going to kill the last boss, no big deal. But getting extra gear, that's tricky. That does affect the hard mode race because 25 man especially drops a lot of gear per boss. It's like 8 items now. 8 items, I think. Something like that. So I think Blood Legion or Vodka, one of those two, has 3 extra boss kills, which is 24 items. 24 pieces of loot on top of their normal allowance for that week. That's scary. That's a lot of extra DPS, a lot of extra stats, stamina, survivability, healing, tanking, mitigation, all that shit. All that cool stuff which really counts in World First progression. The EU guilds are clearly pissed off at this. It should not have been allowed to happen. And it should... Why can't we just have a good, clean race? That's all they want. I know the top guilds aren't the majority of the players. But this is what they live for, is that World First race. They just want it to be fair. Just hasn't happened again. Has not happened again. It's sullied the race already. Sullied the race, especially as the US servers are looking for that crucial World First. Come here, you. Come here. Go there. Go on. Out you go. Good lad. They're looking for that crucial World First kill. It's just not going to get the credit it deserves if it has something like this looming over it. Oh! We got the World First! Yeah, but you had an extra reset's worth of gear. Always that, yeah, but. You don't want that, yeah, but. You want the World First. You want to have worked for it, you want to have won it, but you can't. I'm not blaming the guys. The bosses are there. Of course you're going to use it. Of course you were. If we had the opportunity to do it, we'd all do it. It's not their fault, but if they get the World First now, it's already sullied in some fashion. Grim situation. What can you do? What can you do? You can't blame them. You can't do anything like that. In other news, I'm going to do a relatively short daily today, probably about 30 minutes. Only because tonight, this is personal stuff, I am taking Ben swimming. Ben has a unusual issue in, well, not unusual, I suppose, for a puppy, but we've been slowly introducing him to water every day. We take him for 2 huge walks every day, and we take him to rivers and streams and to the sea. We take him to the ocean. We're taking him on boats, and he's almost at the point where he wants to swim. Almost. He's just there. He's right all the way in to the point where he has to take his paws off the floor. So we've booked him into a hydrotherapy lesson. Where they'll put like a life jacket on him and just throw him in and just introduce him to the fact that he can swim. All dogs can swim. Just going to throw him in and just show him that he can swim. And hopefully he'll be a swimming dog, because swimming is great exercise for dogs and it's great for us. You just throw sticks and shit in and he just goes and gets all his exercise done. And plus he gets to play with other dogs who are also swimming. Ben always looks so depressed when we take him to a country park and there's 5 or 6 dogs. I think I've uploaded a couple of videos of this where there's 5 or 6 dogs all playing in the water, and Ben's just running to the edge and he desperately wants to play, but he's just too scared of getting in the water. So we're going to take him to a class later. I'll be sure to film it in whatever capacity I can and put it on the real life channel so you guys can check that out for those of you who are interested in Mighty Ben and his adventures. Moving on to back to WoW news, I should say, coming full circle. Today's raid day, and as I said, panic! Panic, 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 panic. I got so many emails today regarding raiding in all sorts of different capacities. I'm going to sort of answer those questions today. This is something that is unique. New raid day is like new PC day. It's really exciting. I'm not overly... Some people are asking me, what are you raiding? I'm going to be raiding in a couple of weeks. I've got too much to do right now to raid. If my evening tonight was taken up by raiding, and tomorrow evening and maybe Friday, then I would literally just not produce anything for my work. It just wouldn't be possible. The videos I'm creating at the moment are big editing tasks. So I'm going to be working tonight on my videos. In a couple of weeks they should all be done, and I can go about my raiding in my usual enjoyment type of style. But I did most of them on beta, so I'm not missing out. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not missing out on anything in particular. I'm quite looking forward to just doing some challenge modes and stuff like that, and just getting on with the game. Excuse me. So I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys raid, and let me know how you get on in your first raids. So let's take a couple of questions. This one was entitled Guild Douches. You title a question Guild Douches, I am always going to answer it. I really am. I love it. It's like a little bit of drama. And I know I love my drama and my stories of drama. And something called Guild Douches that really like inspires me to have a good read. I do read everybody's email. I don't answer them all for obvious reasons, but I do try and read them. When I read this question, I almost like figured up my own story. Guild Douches. Before we jump into this particular question, which isn't quite what I hoped it would be when I saw the question named Guild Douches, it was, I instantly had visions of those guild douches. Those people in your guild who are just fucking assholes. My God. And you can't imagine why they're so strange and bizarre. The wonderful thing about World of Warcraft is that there's like 11 million people or 10 million people playing it. You bump into every bizarre weirdo and freak in the fucking universe. And sometimes they end up in your guild. And that is just weird. From manic depressives to kleptomaniacs. We knew a guy who couldn't stop stealing. Even in game, he would steal anything. He would just try and steal it. It was crazy. And it was... I just had all these visions of people I've met. And I know they're just huge douchebags. Like huge douchebags. And I love that. I love it. They're just people you don't get on with. I try and get on with everybody, but I'm not always the most amiable person. I very much insult a lot of people in jest most of the time. If any of you see me and Ghost have a conversation between each other, it's full of the most evil insults. And a lot of people are like, God, he must hate him. We've been to parties and people are like, those two are really rude to each other. Yeah, but we're okay with it. We're fine with it. No big deal. But sometimes I'm like really rude to people in guild chat in jest. And I sort of assume they know what I'm like, although they probably don't, and they take it badly. And then something starts, and I'm just laughing. It's like, so I'm like, I was joking, dude. Don't worry about it. And he's like, that's not funny. I'm taking that really overly personally. People take things. Don't people have so many different thresholds of what they consider to be a joke and not? Like so many different thresholds where you say something and that is like way over the line for them. But another guy is nowhere near the line. They don't even care. And it's always difficult to judge that kind of response. Some people take things very personally and you can't possibly understand why. Like the word, I don't want to say it, but C-U-N-T, that word. I said that in work once, in an office environment. My God, the response from all the ladies in that room, you'd thought I dropped a bomb. You thought I would walk into their house at Christmas Day, kick their kids in the teeth, and just pissed all over the tree. They were that upset. They were like, oh my God, I can't believe you just said that. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? They're like, you can't use that word. He said it's so offensive, so offensive. And to me, it's not. To other people, it is. It's something you have to have appreciation for. And you're like, what? What did I say? I mean, I'm talking about girls who previously were talking about whether or not they use perfume on their private parts to aid, to please their men. And this is offending you? What? Hypocrite or what? Hypocrites drive me crazy. Again, I breach that line all the time. I'm always going over that line because I'm very loud. And I also swear a lot. I do. I know. Cussing, as you American guys call it. You cusser. But it's the way I am. It's the way God made me, or the way my upbringing made me, is to deal with that kind of stuff. I like the way there's a conversation going on in the chat over how offensive Various different words are. You guys. I called my wife a cunt once. Never again, because I'm single now and she deformed me. I just want to point out, Bradley brought up a good point. And this is the conversation I got into at work about perfume on a lady's private part. And I said, why would you do that? And she said, oh, so it smells fresh and like roses or something. I said, have you ever seen a man eat a rose? Do you think a guy was going to go, it smells like a garden down here? What the hell? I don't know why any girl would think that is a good idea. It's like a sort of girl prediction in her mind or something of like, oh, well, perfume smells nice, so I should spray perfume there. No. Doesn't work. Oh, yes. Like potpourri. It's lovely. I love the smell of potpourri. I always see a bowl of potpourri and think I want to eat all of it. I just can't wait to wrap my mouth around it. I'm getting a bit gross now, so we'll move back to the story. Guild douches, yeah. I bump into these into pretty much every guild. Every guild has one. They're like Uncle Arsehole. Everyone's got an uncle who's a complete arsehole. It's the same thing with a guild. You have some guild douches, sometimes more than one, sometimes lots of them. If you consider everybody in the guild to be a douche, you're the douche, okay? And everyone else just doesn't like you because you're a douche. Notice the flip. If every single person in a guild you think is a douchebag, it's because you're the douche and they don't fucking like you. That's a little clue there. If literally everybody around you seems like they're being really rude, it's because you suck. And you should think about that. Don't blame everybody else for being a douche. I'm telling you that so you can think about why people might think you're a douche and maybe have a little think about changing some things. It's really important that you notice that not everybody around you is an asshole. It's probably you. It is. Use that knowledge. Take it in. Accept it. Do something about it. And try and get it back. So this question was from Logan. Badass name. The name of Wolverine, of course. He says his name is Avox. No, it's not. It's Logan. I can see it. Firstly, I love your vids. Classic email coming through from Ghosty, no doubt. Love your vids. Awesome. Anyway, I joined a guild towards the end of Kata to get into raiding from Miss Pandaria. I started off as a priest. Was approached by an officer of the core raid and asked what alts I have as there was an abundance of priests. Why did they recruit you? I'm going off topic, I know, but why did they recruit a priest if there's an abundance of priests? I always find that baffling. I told him I have a warlock and a retadin. He told me to re-roll my warlock. He told you to re-roll your warlock. Or else. You know what I say? You re-roll a warlock. I'll play my priest. He gave me the excuse that I will get 100% access into every core group, both 10 and 25. I don't know what that means. You can only do 10 or 25. And promised to help me gear up to the raid standards. Okay. Since this time, I am now level 90 on my warlock. Good news. And focusing a lot on PvP over PvE, since I have had the absolute bare minimum amount of assistance from this officer. I think a lot of the regular viewers know where I'm going with this question. And have been replaced by another lock. This was 2 days ago. This was 2 days out from raid release. I've approached the officer and he gave me some bullshit that I can't remember. Come on, dude. You're dropping yourself in it here, man. He gave me some bullshit that I can't even remember and said I will be 100% 25 mans for next week or so. So my question is, should I stick it out or look for another guild? I don't want to sound like a little bitch. This is the best question ever. About something that didn't go my way, but this has really pissed me off. Also, the lock that joined was always taking over me into guild heroic runs. Well, okay, where do we start with this one? I'm obviously going to try and help you as best I can. Right, my first impression just from your email, and I consider you a good... I'm not trying to offend you, okay? I'm not trying to offend you. I'm trying to help you out. So if you don't like it, I apologize, but here's what I got from your email. You're very, very easily butthurt, and you expect your hand held a little bit too much. That is my first impression just from reading your email, that you've brought a lot of this on yourself. Okay, so I hope you're still going to listen instead of joining the dislike crew, the 2 dislike masters of my dailies, and making that a team of 3. I'm really trying to help you, because this will help you long term in both WoW and RL. Okay? Doesn't sound like it's the guild's fault, first of all. Okay, I'm going to be blatantly honest with you from your email. It doesn't sound like it's the guild's fault. It sounds very much to me like you might have a bit too much of an ego in some respects, and really are not doing enough yourself. The first thing that brought me to this is I'm level 90 and focusing on PvP because they didn't help me. That doesn't help you in the fucking least. It really doesn't. Do you know what I would have done if it would have been me and I felt like I was being shit on for other reasons? I would have geared the shit out of my Warlock and gone into that raid and crapped all over the other Warlock. I would have fucking destroyed him in every single possible way and said nothing. Let the damage meter speak for itself. I would have fucking hammered him into the ground and left him doing nothing. I really would have. I just wouldn't have even I wouldn't have even said anything. Oh, you're not taking me to the heroics? Because they're probably more friendly with this Warlock? Gotta face facts. They are more friendly with other people. Everybody prefers to play with their friends or people they enjoy spending more time with. That's it. That's a fact of life. Happens everywhere, not just in WoW in work. You'll notice that people who are friendlier with the boss tend to get more special treatment than the people who aren't. You know why? The boss wants to spend more time with the guy he's friendly with. No shit. It's just the way of the world. It's common fucking sense. It's not fair. It's not fair. Nothing is fair. Ever. Nothing is fair. Ever. You've got to do it by yourself. But if you can be the biggest douchebag in the world, if you always perform, you will always get brought to the raid. All the time. It doesn't matter if the guild master hates your guts, especially the better guild you're in. The better and better guild you're in, you can afford to be a complete and total asshole as long as every time you turn up to that raid, you perform massively well. Just immensely well. So what I would have done is, at this point, I'd never got help from that officer to get geared. You don't need help from anybody right now in Mists of Pandaria to get geared. Everything you want is easily attainable yourself. You pug. You've had plenty of time to pug. You have. I didn't get in the guild heroic runs. Well, boo fucking who? Really? Cold hard truth. Boo fucking who? You didn't get into this guild heroic run? Sad face. You do it yourself. Fine, the conditions are harder on you. That's right, the conditions are harder on you. You shouldn't expect anything more. How do we say when you go into a tank dungeon? You assume you will get no help from anybody whatsoever. This is no different. Assume in all cases you will get no help from anybody else. If you do, all the better. Thumbs up. All the better. You're in better shape if you start getting help from people. But you should not expect help. Ever. Ever, 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 ever expect help. Never. Ask for help at all occasions. Definitely. If something is better with more than one person, ask for help. If somebody is better than you at doing stuff, because believe you me, a lot of people are better than you at doing something. A hell of a lot. Ask for help. If you don't get it, fine. Don't expect it. So many people get held down in World of Warcraft and in workplaces because they expect help. Yeah, but blah, blah, blah was supposed to help me do this report and he didn't. Do you think your boss gives a shit? He wants the fucking report. He wants it now. End of fucking story. Unless it's a specific two-man job. Sure, someone can go, well, roofing requires 2 men, one to hold the ladder. Fine, I'm talking about every other situation where you've been asked to do something, you're not the best at it, and you need help, but you can't get it. Then you do the best you can. You say, look, here's the report. I did ask blah and blah for assistance because he's really good at this. Unfortunately, he was unavailable, so this is really the best I could do. Nobody will complain at that unless it fucking sucks. Unless you turned up in PvP gear. Right? What say now? Tonight is the raid night. He promised you a spot in that 25-man raid and you turn up in PvP gear. Who looks like the douche? You do. And then what are you gonna say? Oh well, I didn't get into the guild heroic runs. Well, you can queue up as a pug. Nobody accepts that as an answer. Nobody. It just sounds like, yeah, right. No one gives a shit. No one cares. No one fucking cares. They really don't. So, first things first, Mr. Logan. I hope you're still listening. You should. You might have fucked it now. You really might have. Because you focused on PvP, and people will have noticed that you're doing BGs, and why are you not getting your PvE gear up? Because we're a raid guild. Why aren't you doing that? That should be a priority regardless of help or not. Other than that, there's a reason they're not bringing you along. No one's saying you need to be friends with everybody. It's not possible. But there's a reason that they're not bringing you. There really is. There's a reason. You need to work that out for yourself, because I don't know what it is. But all I can say is, from the sound of it, you're being the problem here, not them. They're not helping. But as we just said, you shouldn't expect help. They're not helping. They are reluctant to accept you into their circle. Okay, that's normal. Most guilds have been around for a fucking long time now. And they have really close circles of friends. They do. They have long-term circles of friends. Breaking into a new circle is really hard. And unless you're like exceptionally just like the most charismatic man on the planet, like you walk into a room, everybody wants to lick your nipples, you're going to have to work a little bit harder to be part of that team. And sometimes you're going to have to take a little bit of shit before you move all the way up. That's normal practice. Spitting your dummy out a little bit and doing PvP because you're not getting into the guild heroic groups, that ain't going to help you, you know? That's not going to help you out. That just makes it all the worse. Really does. People who, they call it throwing the toys out the pram, or spitting the dummy out, or taking your ball and going home, or having a general sour retaliation towards it, doesn't help you. They're just like, well, go. Fucking go. We're not asked. Do what you want. Really doesn't help out. So I hope that helps you, Log. What I'm suggesting for you as an answer to your question is if you might need to leave the guild now. You might be a bit fuckered, especially when you turn up for the raid in your PvP stuff and you don't have anything better. They might just tell you to piss off. If they don't, go and get your PvE gear this week. Go and get it. And then come back next week and smash that warlock in the fucking face. And destroy him. Win. And don't be a douche about it. Don't go, do you see me on the damage meters? Yeah! Don't do that. Just let him speak for themselves. Don't say a damn word. I'm just doing more damage than him. I didn't die to anything. I was better. I was just the better player. Bring me or not. And then let that take its time. Because I will bring any douchebag who I know will destroy the damage meters. You know why? Because I want things to be done. I want things to be done. Good friend of mine might be watching now, Mr. Drock. Mr. Drock is notorious for not getting on with everybody and stating his goddamn opinion. Some people would consider him a douche. I didn't. He was awkward sometimes. Hard to work with, definitely. But worth bringing to the raid every fucking time. I would wait for that guy to turn up because he's awesome player. Absolutely awesome. And he got better over the time. And towards the end of the last time I played with him, he was a really, really nice guy. But still, a lot of people would consider him a massive douche. But you would not raid without him because he owns face. Be that guy. If you can't be amiable with everybody, be the guy who kicks fucking ass every single day. That'd be awesome. And Ghost, of course, who's just very unlikable in all situations. Ghosty is always very unlikable. Oh, what time is it? It's past already? Oh my god. Okay. Question. Now, I wanted to read this because I found it hilarious. Oh, big shout out to Icy Veins, by the way. Icy Veins commented on yesterday's daily. They run the website and they were like, you know, we don't purposely not update stuff all the time. That's cool. That's fairly cool of you guys. But you're doing a great job. I actually love Icy Veins. I said that yesterday. I fully recommend it to anybody. And it's a really good format and layout. Mr. Ben. Let's close that door. Alright. Mr. Ben. Okay. This one came in from AVGN. His spelling sucks. Now this is where this question is a little bit difficult for me to read, but I kind of think it has a good vibe to it. I'm going to try and work this out from the words. I assume English isn't his native language, so we'll do our best as a team, as ballers. My guild wants to raid. Good. And during Kata, I was the raid leader, and I made raid events. Awesome. every weekend, so people... He would make raid events every weekend, so people could join, and since the guild loves PvP, they wouldn't even sign up to join the raid. I even started PMing people, telling them to sign up, and either they did not want to join or they did not care. Which is pretty normal, let's face facts, especially towards the end of Cataclysm. No one gave a shit about Dragon Soul, it's pretty cool. I did have a few DPS and tanks, but no healers. The fucking day Mop came out, his words. They replaced me with a Resto Shaman that has been raiding since the Burning Crusade. So I can understand. So I assume what they did is they actually recruited a raid leader from another guild, like someone with a very experienced raid leadership, a lot of experience behind him from the Burning Crusade, so they brought in a new raid leader. But, exclamation mark, he has not even been on that character whatsoever and has not been on since Mr. Pandaria came out at all. So I guess he's on his main on another server or guild and does not give a shit. So I'm trying to understand here from this email that a Resto Shaman was recruited. Now, possibly from the tone of this email, he was recruited on his alt, maybe as a friend of the guild, to come along with you guys at some sort of once or twice a week, help you raid, and that's about it. But his main is actually somewhere else. He raids in a different guild, but he's going to come along with you guys for once or twice a week, be a raid leader, and just get some extra loot on his alt or whatever it might be. Or he's quit the guild. Now, there's a couple of reasons that I can think of why he's not taken up this opportunity. Firstly, that Mr. Pandaria's leveling experience is huge, and all the stuff that you have to do on your main character in order to be raid ready is just so time consuming that more than likely, if this was his alt that he was supposed to help you out on, he literally has been unable to play. I would consider that normal as something possible. So I am planning on leaving the guild. Everybody wants to jump ship straight away. Why? The guy hasn't turned up. Now's your chance to be a raid leader. And join another one. I am a baller ass prot warrior, and I have only been beat by one tanking Kata and Mr. Pandaria. I know I'm good, but I just lack raiding experience. And the Resto Shaman raid leader is a dumbass because he said I needed to be hit capped. He's a dumbass, said I needed to be hit capped. What a dumbass. Makes me sick. Well, he's not that dumb. Some people are debating hit cap, I suppose, but it's forcing someone to do it isn't correct either, especially if you've done your own research. I don't get why you're leaving. This seems like a massive opportunity. You say yourself you don't have the raid experience in order to claim to be a raid leader elsewhere, but you obviously want to be a raid leader. You want it. You can feel like that's something you want to do. Otherwise, you wouldn't be so pissed that somebody else was brought in. You understood why this guy came in. He's got a ton of experience. But you want that opportunity. And you're very sour that that opportunity was almost taken away from you for someone who didn't even bother to log in. That's the worst thing. It's not the fact that they recruited someone to replace you or to be a raid leader, but the fact that the guy was brought in, that happened, hurt to your ego, definitely, and then didn't even bother to log in. So it's like, what the hell do we do now? And probably the rest of the guild is thinking the same. We recruited this guy to raid lead us. He's not turned up. Wasn't so much a question as that you're only planning to leave. But I assume your question is, should you leave the guild? Which is a very common question I'm getting these days, is should I leave? But a lot of people want affirmation for what they're doing. I say no. I say no. Do not leave that guild. Do not leave. Now is your time to shine. Oh, he's not turned up. It's okay, I'll get things sorted. That's what I want to see out of you. As a baller, you don't run away and hide. Leaving the guild solves nothing. You just have to start back at square one. Right now, you have a good opportunity to seize that raid leadership and do what you want to do. You might suck at it. Then you can leave the guild. If you make a bit of an ass of yourself and it all goes pear-shaped, fine. Then you can think about going somewhere else. But right now, you have an opportunity. They brought someone in. It hasn't worked out. You are there. You have the command from the previous expansion. Now you can really seize it and run with it. And then this guy logs in a month's time. It's like, we're fine. We've got AVGN running things. It's cool. We don't need you anymore. Awesome. Prove yourself. Don't fear the challenge. Never fear the challenge. Grab it. Run with it. It's your opportunity. This is it. Use it. Don't leave the guild. Don't be a pussy. Don't be a pussy. Grab it and run with it. This is the raiding week. Don't panic. Don't change guild. Everyone's going to be switching guilds all the time. There's going to be a million people who don't watch my channel who will just be leaving guilds left and right. Oh, so many people reactivated for Mr. Pandaria. I won't get my raid spot. I'm leaving, I'm leaving, I'm leaving. All this stuff is going on. I'm getting floods of emails. There's so many people logging in and replaying after Mr. Pandaria. Hell, I saw a friend of mine log on today. I haven't seen him play since before Cataclysm. I have not seen that real ID pop up since before Cataclysm. Boom! Character came online today while I was playing. I was like, what the fuck? He's like, yeah, I thought I'd try it with Pandaria. It's happening everywhere. Look at the server queues. Sylvanas, the server I mostly play on, hasn't had a queue the entirety of Cataclysm. Every night, 3,000 queue. Where have all these players come from? They're all returning from Mr. Pandaria. And don't worry, in a month's time, they'll all have gone again. So many people will just not enjoy Mr. Pandaria. They will leave again. This is the natural burst of enthusiasm and energy that comes into a new expansion. It's fine, it's normal. Do not run. Don't run away. Be strong. Okay, questions from you heroes in the audience before I leave. Should have announced that a little bit earlier, I suppose. Who's got a copy and paste today? There it is, Firestar! I love the copy and paste questions. I said give me a question, it's like, boom! There we go. Just waiting for this idiot preach to shut the hell up so I can paste my question. I love it. Okay, Bridger. Something has happened to my guild. Dun dun dun! Dun 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 dun! I need a fan button that goes dun dun dun! Wait for it. Wait. Perfect. Oh yeah, baby. My life is so fucking perfect right now. Okay. Okay. Preach. So something has happened to my guild. The first group recently split up. Oh no. The group split up. The Spice Girls? No way, dude. Not again. With more hardcore people creating another independent group within the guild. First question, to get you answering some stuff for me. As such, the guildmaster wants to merge his group with mine. What is this, like a large guild with lots of interspersed raiding teams? My problem is we are having a lot of overlap. 5 healers and 3 tanks between our 2 groups. Yeah. And some people would have to respec. Some people have to respec. Or even be put on the backup list as a more casual but still progression-minded rating. What? Come here. Relax. Yes, I love you. As a more casual but still progression-minded rating. How can I choose who respects and is put to the side? Who gets to stay with their current spec? Well, shitter. I've done this once before with a guild merge, and it sucks. And you know why it sucks? Because I guarantee you know the answer. You know who needs pissing off. You know who needs to be flirted from your raid team, don't you? You already know who it is. You really do. And you don't know how to deal with it, which is understandable. Because there is no good way of telling people that they're the guys who fucking suck and need to leave. There you go. Good boy. Yeah, it's easy. As someone just says, you just choose the best players. That's not easy, because you've got to tell all the other players. It's your responsibility now to tell the other players that they're just not good enough to be part of the team. How do you do it? You have to I would okay. If you don't want to look like a complete ass, and you don't really want to offend everybody, because people don't like purposely pissing people off. The only people who like really offending people are just cruel bastards. I would say, look, this is what's happening. We need to merge the raid teams together. There's obviously more people than there is spots. Some people find it very hard to understand that when there's 30 people, there's only 25 raid spots. I can't bring 30 people to a 25-man raid. I can't bring 12 people to a 10-man raid. I can't do it. It's not possible. I can't bring 3 tanks to a 2-tank fight. I would almost ask them to say, I would say to both teams, look, we're going to have to do this. There's obviously more people. We kind of need you guys to think about whether you want to go forward with us, which I assume most of you do. Always nice to throw that line in. But can you please, we'll put a forum thread up. Can you please either get them to make a little application or something along those lines? Or can you just list that you want to do this or any problems you foresee? Get them involved, make it almost a democratic decision. It actually isn't very much like normal democracy, as it feels like you're all having a choice, but you really aren't. The choice is made beforehand. They just like to let you think you're having a choice and an opinion. I would really word it that way. Because some people won't like it. Some people won't be happy with it. They'll be like, why do we have to do this? He said, well, there isn't enough to raid in Group 1. There isn't enough to raid in Group 2. But we want to raid, so we're going to have to merge them together. And then somebody will go, why don't we just recruit more and raid 25? Yeah, well, we would have done that years ago if that was possible. I would certainly recommend something along the lines of making a big post saying, this is what's happening. If you want to be a part of it, please say so, and we'll have to judge how it's going to work. And if not, say so we don't have to consider you and we can drop you. Allow some people to voluntarily leave. Makes your life a little bit easier. Sometimes you do have people leave who are really good. That sucks. But not all the time. Sometimes the dropouts will be the guys who kind of know they're not going to get picked. Don't misunderstand that some people know they suck. Most people who suck know they suck, regardless of any bravo and ego that they give out. Oh, you're an elitist prick. Oh, you're so elitist because your DPS is higher than mine. Deep down, they know they suck. It's just a game, yo. What the fuck? It's normal stuff. They will know they suck, and they might not want to go through the embarrassment of being the person not picked. Now, suppose that doesn't work, and everybody, so let's say you've got 15 people. I assume you're a 10-man. You've got 15 people who all want to play. Well, firstly, you're going to have to work out some sort of rotation to get everybody started. And plus, having 15 or even 17 people for a 10-man guild isn't the end of the world. Because a lot of people just want some rotation and breathing time. Not everybody wants to raid 5 days a week. Depends how serious you're being. And therefore, having some rotation is good. And then I would literally put it down to the players. So if you've got 2 Shadow Priests, okay, guys, can you work out between the 2 of you who's raiding when so we're always covered? Something along those lines. And it should be fine. It should be cool. And if not, it'll be down to raid performance. And let the numbers do the talking. Let the World of Logs do the talking. Put both the Shadow Priests in a raid together. Which one's winning? He's winning all the time. What do you want to say? And then they'll go, his gear's better. It's been a week. Nobody's gear's astronomically better to the point where you're getting shit on every single time. Let the numbers do the talking. There are a lot of ways, and managers and bosses over the years have worked out drastically amazing ways of having a reason to get rid of people that doesn't involve saying you're terrible. They let the numbers do the talking. They let the budget do the talking. They set the budget and say there's no room in the budget for you. But you made the budget. Yeah, I know. But there's no room for you. So you're gone. Or we're changing the job role. So your job's redundant. We're changing the customer service hotline to the customer helpline. It's a different job. Therefore, you're all redundant. That's what they do. That's what they do. So that's what I would recommend, my friend. Get them to apply. Anybody who doesn't want to be a part of it, let their voice be heard. And if you're still struggling, put them in raids together and let the logs do the talking. Say it's the only realistic way we can do it then. And then people will it'll naturally work itself out pretty quickly. It's not nice. It's not nice at all. I've had to do it once with a guild merger, 25 places, and we mixed 40 people into that. But very quickly it works itself out. It really does. And especially after the first raid, when those people do not get invited, they take the hint and they'll tend to find their own way and just either rage quit immediately or just go casual or whatever. And that's fine. Alright, ballers. I'm going to call it a day there, and I'm going to take Ben swimming. I'll be sure to film it for you guys. Hopefully it'll be entertaining. I don't know. It could end up really bad. But either way, have a great evening. Have a great first raid to those of you who are about to raid or are getting ready. You should be getting ready now. And I will see you tomorrow evening. All right. Take it easy, ballers.